Gaining the knowledge of deen is one of the most beautiful endeavors that a person can embark on. But after learning knowledge, a person also needs to retain it. They need to keep it in their hearts, in their minds, be able to recall it when they need to recall it, use it when they need to use it, explain it when they need to explain it. So there are many means of retaining that knowledge. At the same time, there are means through which knowledge fades away from our minds and hearts. And sometimes, if we are diligent about keeping ourselves away from the things that erode our knowledge, that make our knowledge fade away, then by default we are protecting our knowledge. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu says, إِنِّي لَأَحْسِبُ الرَّجُلَ يَنْسَى الْعِلْمَ كَانَ يَعْلَمُهُ لِلْخَطِيئَةِ يَعْمَلُهَا. He says that I believe that a person forgets knowledge that they had. It was knowledge that they obtained. They might have worked very hard for it. But they start forgetting it. It starts fading from their mind because of one very key cause, and that is a sin that they have committed. So, committing a sin leads to that knowledge fading away from a person's mind. It's almost like an outcome of doing something displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah azza wa jal has them start forgetting their knowledge. Therefore, it is crucial for anyone who is on the path of knowledge to be extremely watchful of their actions and their words, where they are maintaining the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when in public and in private. The famous story of Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah, where who had a photographic memory, an amazing memory, goes to class and he's not able to retain anything. And this is a shock for a man who could read an entire book in one night and repeat it in its entirety the next day to his teacher from his memory. For someone like that to come into class and all of a sudden not be able to remember anything was traumatizing. So he asked his teacher, Imam Waqi' ibn al-Jarrah, about this. And Imam Waqi' gave him a piece of advice at that time. And Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah puts this together in his couplets. He says, شَكَوْتُ إِلَى وَكِيعٍ سُوءَ حِفْظِي فَأَوْصَانِي إِلَى تَرْكِ الْمَعَاصِي فَإِنَّ الْعِلْمَ نُورٌ مِّنْ إِلَهِ وَنُورُ اللَّهِ لَا يُعْطَى لِعَاصِي. I complained to Imam Waqi' about my trouble in retaining things, my trouble in keeping things in my memory. So he advised me to leave out sins. In other words, there must have been something that you did that is causing this. So reflect on that cause. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with your mind. Your mind is perfect. But there must have been some mistake that you made. And some narrations mention that Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah may have been passing by and his gaze fell on, a woman who was passing by, and the wind kind of uncovered her feet or her calves or her shins, and it was just in the spur of the moment. It was not something that he did intentionally, but it happened. Some narrations mention that. In any case, Imam Waqi' rahimahullah compelled him to focus on something that he may have done which have resulted in this. It was a spiritual cause. And then he went on to say that this knowledge, فَإِنَّ الْعِلْمَ نُورٌ مِّنْ إِلَهِ, because this knowledge is a nur, it is a light that comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala into the hearts of His chosen ones. وَنُورُ اللَّهِ لَا يُعْطَى لِعَاصِي. That nur of Allah is not given to someone who is disobedient. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah is one of our models. He is one of the icons of Islam and one of the great minds of the Muslim Ummah. If he was advised to be diligent and concerned about his practices being as noble and as pious as he was, then what does that mean for us? Can we truly go on learning knowledge and then having no sense of accountability for the way we use our eyes, the way we use our ears, the things that we think about, the things that we say, or other things that we do? Do we think that we can keep our knowledge while breaching the boundaries of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's simply not possible. So coming back to that statement of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, he says that I feel that a person forgets knowledge because of a mistake that they committed. So what our responsibility is to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness for any mistakes we have made in the process of learning knowledge or after that. We make sincere tawbah and we shift ourselves back to absolute commitment, absolute submission and obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only will this safeguard our piety, safeguard our akhirah, but it will also safeguard our knowledge.